In August 1970, Bob Upshaw and I were 20-year-olds about to begin our junior year at Berkeley. I knew Bob through scouting. He had not belonged to my troop, but we knew each other well enough that when we both decided to attend Berkeley, we agreed to share an apartment. Our parents were not entirely pleased. Berkeley had a reputation, and not the sort that reassured parents in 1970. Bob was an EECS major and a member of the water polo team. Swimming was part of his life, so visits to Hearst Pool became part of ours. That afternoon was hot, bright, and ordinary. We swam in cut-off jeans, rested at the edge of the pool, and talked about starting school. We were excited. When we left the pool, we were barefoot, shirtless, and still wet. We walked across campus toward our apartment. Then we reached Sproul Plaza. You could tell immediately that something was wrong. Upper Sproul was empty, not merely uncrowded, empty, quiet, unnatural in broad daylight. Ordinarily, the plaza was alive with students, tables, leaflets, arguments, speeches, and people moving in every direction. Protests were common enough that they had become part of the Berkeley landscape, but Bob and I had never found ourselves in the middle of one. Then we heard the noise. Looking toward Sather Gate, we saw a large crowd of students and non-students packed tightly together. They were shouting, waving signs, and raising their fists. The demonstration was intense, but at first it did not seem especially threatening to us. Protests happened at Berkeley. We were Berkeley students. We still did not understand where we were standing. Then we turned toward Bancroft Way. Across the plaza was the Oakland Tactical Squad. My first impression was not of individual officers, but of a single enormous mass of blue and black. Helmets, shields, gas masks, batons. They were frightening. The crowd was behind us. The tactical squad was ahead of us. Bob and I were standing in the empty space between them, barefoot and shirtless, having wandered into the center of something we did not understand. Then a tear gas grenade landed 2 or 3 feet from us. It was a good shot. I never saw anyone throw it. One moment the plaza was tense and still. The next, a canister was lying at our feet, spitting out gas and smoke. My eyes began to burn. Then my lungs. I had experienced CS gas before. Only a month or 2 earlier, at ROTC summer camp at Fort Knox, we had entered the gas chamber wearing protective masks. A drill sergeant released the gas and then ordered us to remove our masks, state our names, and identify our schools. He looked into our eyes to make certain we had received the full effect before allowing us outside, where the wind cleared our vision. That experience had been unpleasant, but it was controlled. It had a purpose. It was training. The Army was teaching us confidence in our equipment and preparing us to become better soldiers. Sproul Plaza was entirely different. No one explained anything. No one warned us. No one cared who we were or why we were there. We were attacked simply because we happened to be crossing our own campus. I remember bending over, unable to see clearly, struggling to breathe. Then I became aware that someone was helping me. A protester had reached me with water. "It's okay, man. Let's wash out your eyes." Or words very much like those. I do not remember who it was. I don't remember who else helped. Nor do I clearly remember how Bob and I were moved away from the plaza. One moment we were in danger. The next, somehow, we were beside Strawberry Creek in a makeshift treatment area, surrounded by people washing our eyes, offering towels, and helping strangers breathe. The transition is missing from my memory, but the feeling of safety remains, which I barely understood, but in something more immediate. On one side were people equipped, organized, and officially charged with maintaining public safety. On the other side were protesters. The tactical squad fired the gas. The protesters flushed my eyes. The difference between Fort Knox and Sproul Plaza was not the chemical. It was the purpose behind it. At Fort Knox, the gas was used within rules, under supervision, to teach and prepare us. At Berkeley, it was used against us, without warning, explanation, or cause. I had entered Sproul Plaza thinking of protesters as part of Berkeley's troublesome reputation. I left it knowing which side had shown compassion.